So, in the previous class, we have discussed about the arrays. So we have discussed the declaration of an array and initialization of an array, as well as we have seen the storage of array elements in the memory, as well as we have seen the some sorting techniques as well as some searching techniques. And then we have seen the class called arrays. We have seen the predefined class called arrays. So arrays is a predefined class name which is declared in the package util. So yeah, this arrays class has so many predefined methods. We have discussed those methods: sort, binary search, to copy, to the string, deep to the string. Like that, we have so many predefined methods under the class arrays. So then we'll come to the two-dimensional array as well as three-dimensional arrays. Let us see the first one, two-dimensional arrays. So here two-dimensional arrays are nothing but a matrices. We will treat this as matrices. That means we have two dimensions, and that means rows and columns. So in the single dimension we have, let us see one example. Suppose if you take the single dimension int braces student or roll number is equal to, will give 22, 33, 56, 89. So this is a single dimensional array. Here the array name is roll number. This is a single dimensional array. So let us go for multi-dimensional arrays. So in the multi-dimensional arrays, we have so many two-dimensional, three-dimensional. Likewise, we can go for n dimensions. So most probably we will come across the two-dimensional as well as three-dimensional arrays. So let us check the two-dimensional. So two-dimensional means we have two indices. Students is equal to, here we have two dimensions. That means, so within the array, within the elements we have two dimensions. That means two types of elements. That means this is one type, this is another type, this is one type and this is another type. That means suppose in the first batch serial number comma 22, serial number 2 comma 33. Here we have two dimensions. That means two elements are combined in a set. Two elements are combined as a set. That is two dimensions. Here only one dimension, only single elements. But here in the within the set we have two elements. Within the set we have two elements. So likewise we can declare the two-dimensional arrays. So if you go for three dimensions means we have three indices. 1, 2, 3, 3D array. Suppose the name is 3D array. That means we have 1 comma 22 comma Venkat, maybe within the string, or else if in the array means we have the same type, same data type. We can't give the string here. We have to give the, we are declaring this array as int. That means all of the elements are treated as integer type elements. That's why we have to give the integer numbers only. 48. This is one dimension. Next dimension is 2, 33, 67. Second dimension. Next third dimension is serial number 3, roll number 56, address is 77. Then you will close the index. So this is the general syntax for one dimensional, two dimensional as well as three dimensions. So we have three dimensional arrays. So let us see some variations in the two-dimensional arrays. So generally, two-dimensional arrays are used for defining the matrices and operations on the matrices. So let us see one example, then we'll get to know. So let us see this. So two-dimensional array is defined as like this. So he is just declaring by using the new operator. So here he has given two indices. First index value is 5, second index value is 10. That means we are going to enter the 5 by 10 matrix. That means we are going to enter the 5 by 10 matrix. That means 5 rows. That means 5 rows and 10 columns. 5 rows and 10 columns. So likewise, we can declare the sizes of the array, sizes of the two-dimensional array. So this can be understand as the array will contain 5 numbers, each having 10 digits. That means let us take matrix. So this is a matrix. Matrix contains 5 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these five numbers has 10 digits. That means 10 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, 10. So let us take another example. Array B. He is initializing the array with 2 dimensions. So first row is 11, 12, 13. 11, 12, 13. Second row is 6, 7, 4. Second row is 6, 7, 4. This is 2 by 3 matrix. So this is 2 by 3 matrix. How can you say that this is 2 by 3? So this can be identified as 11, 12, 13. 11, 12, 13. Next row 7, 6, 4. So this is the matrix. This is the matrix. 11, 12, 13, 7, 6, 4. So this can be initialized in this format. Within the flower braces, we can initialize the two-dimensional array. Or we can initialize by using the new operator also. By using new operator also, we can initialize. So into array C, 2 dimensions is equal to new data type, size is 2 by 3, is initializing the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the comma. This is comma. So likewise, we can initialize the two-dimensional arrays. So let us see one example. Let us see one example. So here, just to illustrate the two-dimensional arrays, so he has taken one class, so one main class and main method is declaring the variables I and j, and he is declaring an array name, my array, m array of 2 dimensions. He is declaring with 2 dimensions. Next, he's again he's going to allocate the some memory. M array is equal to new int 2 by 3. That means he is going to insert the 2 by 3 matrix. That means 2 by 3 matrix. So for initializations in two-dimensional arrays, we need 2 for loops. For initialization or for giving the values to that array, we need 2-dimensional 2 for loops. To give the values in a single dimension, we need 1 for loop. So in the 3 dimensions, we need 3 for loops. So in 2 dimensions, for initialization or for display or anything, we need 2 for loops. So one for loop for rows, another for loop for columns. One for loop for rows, another for loop for columns. So these indices are identified with some, let us take first row, first element 0 0 0 1 0 2, like that. First row is completed. Next index values are 1 0 1 1 1 2. Second row index values. Third row index values are 2 0 2 1 2 2. So these are the index values. That means I and j values. These are the I and j values. 0 0 0 1 0 2. That means elements positions. Element positions 0 0 0 1 0 2 1 0. First row 0th column. Second row 0th column. So likewise, the array is going to initialize. M array is equal to, is giving some arithmetic operations 4 plus I plus j. That means he's going to fill the array by adding the I value and j value with 4. 4 plus I plus j. For I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, the first element is 0 plus 0 4. 4. That means in this place 0 0 position, the element will be 4. The element will be 4. Next 0 1 position, that means I value 0, j value 1. I value 0, j value 1. That means 5. So likewise, all the elements are filled. Likewise, all the elements are filled by using this logic, by using this formula. Then he is going to print that array. So for initialization, we need two for loops. For display, we need 2 for loops. So he's displaying the array. He's displaying the array. So till now, he declared one array and he's going to initialize that array and he's printing that array. Then he's taken another array, D array. He's declaring the another array, D array. He's dynamically assigning the values. Here, by using 2 for loops, he is assigned the values. But here, he is assigned in a single statement. While declaration, he is going to assign the values 1.1, 2.2. So that's why the return type is double. He is going to save the double values. That means point values, real numbers 1.1, 2.2, 3.3, and the second row is 4, 5, 6. So then he is going to print that array. So 2 rows, 3 columns. So he's going to printing that array. So this is the second array. Next, he is taking the another array, int array. So he is taking the another array. So dynamically he is assigning the array. Dynamically he is assigning the array, and he is displaying the array. This is the third array. So next he is taking the another array, string array. So he is going to assign the values A, B, B, C, C, D, D, F, F, S, S, 2 by 3 matrix. So he is assigned the values into the array and he is going to display that. So here he has taken 4 arrays. He has taken 4 arrays of different type. So one is integer type, second one is double type, third one is integer type, so fourth one is string type. So he's going to initialize the 4 types of elements into the array. So for first method, so just he is declared. For initialization, he has taken 2 for loops. In the second array, he is given the values. He is giving the values while declaration. In the third array, he is giving the values while declaration. In the fourth array also, he is given the values at the time of declaration. So in these 4 ways, we can initialize the variables. Yeah, we can initialize the arrays. We can easily declare the 2-dimensional arrays, as well as we can easily initialize the 2-dimensional arrays. So let us take another example. So let us perform some operations on two-dimensional arrays. So what are the operations performed on every integer variable can be applied to all the elements of the array. So ఏదైతే ఆపరేషన్స్ మనం వేరియబుల్స్ మీద అప్లై చేసామో సేమ్ ఆపరేషన్స్ అనేవి మనం అరేస్ మీద కూడా అప్లై చేయొచ్చు. Suppose let us take one example. So he's going to declare the array D array, and he's going to assign the values. He's going to assign the elements of the array. So this is three-dimensional array, not three-dimensional, 3 by 4 matrix. This is 3 by 4 matrix. This is 3 by 4 matrix. That means this is one dimension. This is first row, second row, third row. Three rows. 4 columns means 4 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each row has 4 elements. Each row has 4 elements. So that's why this is a 3 by 4 matrix. So he's declared a 3 by 4 matrix. Okay. Then he's going to print that 3 by 4 matrix. So to print the array, then we need two for loops. We need two for loops as discussed earlier. So he's printing that array. So till now he declared and assigned values to the array, and he is displaying the array. Then he is performing some operations, some mathematical operation. So first one, he is going to print the array length. So length is a method which is a predefined method. Length is a predefined method. So we are going to printing the length of an array. That means size of an array, D array. Then he is going to print the length of first dimension. That means row value, D array index value 1 dot length, index value 2 dot length. Then he is going to printing the array elements after performing the power operation. After performing some mathematical operation, he's going to square the matrix. He's going to square the matrix. Suppose let us take the example 1 1 1 1 1 4 ones, 1 4 twos, then 4 threes. So this is the matrix. 4 threes. This is a matrix. So he is performing the power operation. That means squaring of the numbers. So he is going to square the all the elements of the array. That means 1 square, 2 square, 3, 1 square, 1 square, 1 square, 1 square, 2 square, 2 square, 2 square, 2 square. So the value will be printed in the output array. So here he is using the function. He is using the method power. Method POW. And the class is math. Math is a class name, math.pow, POW. So here comma. Here perform the power operation on array, power of 2. So we can give 2, 3, 4, anything. So if you give 2 means it is squared. If you give 3 means it is cubed. So likewise we can change the index value. So here power is a function, power is a method which is predefined in the class math. So we are going to accessing that power function. So which is predefined in the package util. So most of the Java day-to-day used classes and methods are declared in the util package. So he is going to perform the power operation. That means the output will be 1 1 1 1. Then 2 is squared. That means 2 2s are 4. 4 4 4 4. Then 3 is squared. Each element will be squared. That means 3 3s are 9. 9 9 9. So this is the output of the program. So he is performing some mathematical operation. That's it. So next one, let us see some variations. Arrays of varying lengths. That means we can change the length of the array dynamically. That means, suppose, let us see this example. Let us see this one. So he's going to declare an array A2D, two-dimensional array, and he's going to assigning some sizes. That means he's declaring the row value, but he's not giving the column value. That means he's saying that the array has 3 rows. So the array has 3 rows, but he's not defining the column values. He's not defining the column values. So the column values will be uh, uh, given by the user. So the user can change the values. So there should not be all the elements. That means all the rows has same values. That means here, see the example. Here we have three elements. Here only two elements. Here we have 5 elements. Here we have 5 elements. That means we have an array. We have a two-dimensional array with three rows. With 3 rows. But the column, for all the 3 rows, the column values are different. In the first column, we have 3 elements. In the second column, we have only 2 elements. In the third column, we have 1, 2, 3, 5 elements. We have 5 elements. That means we can the length should not be constant here. The column length should not be constant here. We can vary the vary the length of the columns also. So let us see that. So check this one. So in the previous example, he's assigned the array size as 2 by array size is 3 by, he is giving the empty braces. That means there is not a constant values. That means suppose if you give 3 by 2 means 3 rows, 2 columns. But here he is giving the empty index. For column value he is giving the empty index. That means 3 by something. That value is not a constant. For each row the value changes. So let us check this example. So he is giving 3 rows. First row, second row, third row. 3 rows. But the column value is not given. But the column value is not given. That means for the first row, the column value is 2. In the second row, the column value is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. The third row, the column value is 4. So likewise, we can vary the length of an array. So length of an array can be varied manually. So simply we can give the empty index. Simply we can give the empty index. So there is no condition that we have to give the index values perfectly. So in the C language and C++, we can give the array size, array index size. But in Java, it is optional. So let us see one example. So he declared one main class, main method. So he's going to declare an array. So he is giving the only row value, 3 rows. He's saying that it has 3 rows. But this meaning is, the meaning of this line is, the array has 3 rows, but column, but but the columns are varying. That means not constant. That means not constant. So here we are telling that it has 3 rows, but we are not saying that, not saying exactly the column values. So let us assign manually. Let us assign manually. So we can access the variables by using the index values. So while declaration of array, I have said that all the values are accessed by using the index values. So these are the index values. Array of 0, that means first row. Array of 1, second row. Array of 2, third row. So we are going to assign the values by using new operator data type. So first index value is constant. Next index value we are going to fill. We are going to fill in the next index value. That means column values 0, 6, 7. So next row values 10, 11, 12, 14. So next row values 2, 3, 4. So likewise we can give the variations in the length of an array. So array length can be varied in the Java. So there should not be a condition that all the array length is constant. We can vary the array length. So this is the example. Then he is printing the output. Simply he is printing the output. Next one, three-dimensional array. Till now we have seen the single dimensional array. Let us check the three-dimensional array. So the syntax is same. Let us check this. Three-dimensional means we have 3 indexes, 3 indices, double, 3D array, 3 indices. So same as two-dimensional array. So for initialization and for displaying, how many for loops we need? In three-dimensional array, to initialize the values, how many for loops we need? 3. So two-dimensional means 2 for loops for rows and columns. So here 3 dimensions means third dimension is added. That means 3 for loops will be needed to initialize or to display the three-dimensional array. So let us see one example. So main class, main method. So is declaring the TD array. The array name is TD array of 3 dimensions. Let us see the values. This is the first dimension. So this is the second dimension. That means the matrix has 2 by let us check one by one, 2 rows, then 1, 2, 3. So each row has 1, 2, 3. Each row has 3 subsets. That means 2 by 3 by 2 by 3 by each has 2 elements each. 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. That means each set has 2 elements. That means 2 by 3 by 2, 2 by 3 by 3, 2 by 3 by 2. So the matrix size is 2 by 3 by 2. So we need 3 for loops, I less than 2, j less than 3, k less than 2. For each dimension, we need 1 for loop. So he's displaying the array. He has initialized the array. He's displaying the array. Next, he is going to perform some operation, power operation. Same 3 for loops we need. He's applying the math.power. So array name, comma 2. or else 3, whatever the index value, or else 4. So this is how you can perform the some operations on 3-dimensional arrays. Another example, simple example. So he's taking main class, main method, he's going to declare an array. So he's going to assign the values by using 3 for loops. So the assignment is I plus j plus k. So after performing I plus j plus k, the values are stored in the matrix. That means 3 memory. Then he's going to display the array. So dynamically, that means by using for loop, he's going to assign the values of the array. In the previous example, he's going to assign the values at the time of declaration. At the time of declaration only. Here itself, he has giving the values. But in the next program, he's giving the values through the by using the 3 for loops. He is assigning the values. So next one. So this is all about 2-dimensional arrays and 3-dimensional arrays. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? టూ డి అరేస్ 3D అరేస్ ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? సో ఇది 2-dimensional అరేస్ కానీ 3-dimensional అరేస్ కానీ సింపుల్ 1-dimensional అరే ఎలా ఉందో 2-dimensional 3-dimensional కూడా సేమ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ సేమ్ అవే ఉంటాయి. కాకపోతే ఇక్కడ సింటాక్స్ అనేది 2-dimensionకి అయితే 2 ఇండెక్స్లు ఉంటాయి, 2 ఫర్ లూప్స్ ఉంటాయి. 3-dimensionకి అయితే 3 ఇండెక్స్లు ఉంటాయి, 3 ఫర్ లూప్స్ ఉంటాయి. సేమ్. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఏంటంటే arrays as vectors. So vector is a data type, not data type. Vector is a data structure. So in the Python and upcoming programming languages, in R we have the data structure called vectors. So here also Java supports the concept of vector. So the main difference between arrays and vectors are, so in arrays we cannot dynamically allocate the memory, but in the vectors memory allocation is done dynamically. In vectors, memory allocation is done dynamically. So we have the class vector in the util package. So it provides some predefined methods. So let us check one by one. So vector int size. So creates a vector whose initial capacity is specified by the size. So this is the syntax for creating a vector. So class name vector, object name VEC is equal to new vector of size 5. Vector of size 5. So we are assigning that vector with a size 5. So if the value exceeds the 5 means it is doubled. Automatically, dynamically the value is doubled. 5 means the we are going to enter the 6th element means the memory is doubled. That means the size is 5 becomes 10. So if you want to go enter the 11th element means the 10 is doubled. That means 10 will become 20. So likewise, dynamically the size is adjusted according to the situations. Then we have the another method, vector into size comma int incr. So that means let us take example. So vector into 5 comma into 2. So I have given the values as I am passing the vector into 2 comma into 3. So that means, so a vector is created of size 2 and the increment value is 3. That means after filling the 2 spaces, if the third element will come, the memory is multiplied by 3. The memory is incremented by 3 spaces. That means 2 into 3, 6. That means After filling the two spaces, again three spaces are incremented. After filling that, again three spaces are incremented. So likewise, the memory is adjusted. So this is the specialty of these vectors. So the main difference is in arrays, the memory is not dynamically adjusted or dynamically given. So in the vectors, the memory is dynamically given. If we don't give the values, the memory is automatically adjusted. So there are many advantages of vectors while compared to the arrays. So let us see few. Vectors are dynamically allocated and provide efficient memory allocation, but the arrays doesn't provide the dynamic allocation of memory. Size of vector can be changed as and when required. So the size can be automatically changed. So if the size exceeds means automatically it can be adjusted. But in the arrays, overfill problem will arise. But in the vectors, there is no concept of overfitting. They can store dynamic list of objects. So these are the main advantages of vectors while compared to the arrays. So vector method provides some predefined methods. So these are the some methods provided by the vector class. So vector is a predefined class. Vector class provides some methods. Those methods are first one, void add. Add is a method to insert some element into the vector. Void add element, void clear, int capacity, void copy into, object first element, object last element, enumeration list, object get, object remove, int size of an vector. So these are so many methods provided by the vector. Let us see some example to illustrate these methods. So let us check this program. So this is, so he's creating some class, main method. Then he's creating the vector of name v. He's creating the vector. So he's using the method add element. So add element is a vector method. So vector name is v. So v dot method name, object name dot method name, v dot add element. So he is adding the name as Sheena. Then he is going to add the name Jane. So add element is a method here. Add element is a predefined method in the class vector. So likewise, he is displaying the some size of an vector. System.out.println, he is displaying the size. So size is a predefined method, v dot size. Then he is going to remove the one value, v dot remove. Remove is a method. So then enumeration e is declaring the some variable as e. Enumeration v dot elements, he is displaying some element, enumerated elements, v dot elements. Then he is displaying the elements in the vector. While e dot hash more elements, is true, then he is going to print the next element. He is going to print the next element. So for next element, he has some method next e dot next element. E dot next element. So these are the some methods which are used to do some operations on vectors, predefined methods on vectors. So this is all about arrays and vectors. So do you have any doubts? Any doubts ఉన్నాయా? So this is all about arrays. So arrays declaration, arrays initialization, and then sorting of the arrays, and then searching of the arrays, and then two-dimensional arrays as well as three-dimensional arrays. So this is the end of the arrays. So in the next class, we'll start the inheritance. Thank you.